moves slow, time moves fast. In this dance we call the past. Mental health, a fragile thread, but we'll find strength. Let love spread, life's a climb. Just take a step, rise above, find your breath. In the darkness we will find a shining light to free our mind, to free our mind. Self-growth blooms like petals bloom, shedding tears will heal the wounds and the chaos. Let's find peace, embrace the pain, let it release.
Relax your mind. It's divine time.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? I'm back
Peace,
once
peace,
again.
blessings, brother.
I'm back once again. I'm doing another episode of Speak Your Truth. Today I got with me my big bro, Mr. Impossible. What's that say? Cosmic Pulse Entertainment. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
It's just a company that we just coming out with just different music and poetry. They're just giving a different perspective of life. You know, it's never too late to understand a different vibe. And I think right now it's a great time for people to understand a different vibe. And my vibe comes from the cosmos. So it's a cosmic pulse entertainment. It's a pulse that runs through me. So that's how it comes out. So it's a cosmic pulse entertainment.
I like. That's what's up.
Hmm.
Cosmic Pulse Entertainment. I don't know how you be coming up with some of
Hmm.
this stuff, bro. Like, use a different beast, bro. Use a different beast for real. Use a different beast. Let me adjust this real quick
It
so I
comes from
can.
the cosmos. It comes from the cosmos. You know, it comes
Hey,
from the cosmos. I don't. I told you before. I don't got to think. I just sit in line. I just get in line. Just get in line.
yep, and your ducks is aligned, bro. Like you sit there, you're like, like if aha moments was a person, that'd be you. You just be sitting there,
I
you be
get it
like,
all the time. So,
but
and
so
even when, yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, even when I was given that understanding of what cosmic pulse was, it just
Mhm.
was a recipient of the pulse that runs through the body. Like we all have a pulse in the body, so the whole
Facts.
cosmic pulse. That's how it came. This was a cosmic pulse.
We are electrical beings. So with
Hmm.
it, I got you on today, and we're going to do speak your truth.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel that the audience could possibly learn from, grow from, and it can impact them in a positive way. And then I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to you, let you speak your truth. And then at the end, I'm just gonna ask a couple questions and dive a little deeper. Nothing to like make you cry or nothing. I mean, you can share whatever you want to share. All right.
Speak your truth. So how far do I go back and speak your truth? I'm usually go off of questions. I don't know how to go back to like speaking a whole truth. That's a lot of years.
Like I said, whatever you are comfortable with sharing.
All right, let's go.
All right, run it.
Speak your truth. My brother hit me today and he asked me, do you feel like speaking your truth? I say, well, what does that really mean, speaking your truth? Does that come from a perspective of what it is I want to share with people? Is that come from a perspective of understanding what I know that the people need? Did that come from a perspective of I just want to tell people what I went through and I want to just tell my story? I don't really have a story. But if we want to talk about truth, we can do that. Truth be told, that how we grew up in life is a dysfunction. Truth be told. What was created as a systematic function and a systematic program was created for our own demise. Truth be told, if you want truth, that they took away your ability to connect with your own culture and disconnected you from it. Now, if we just want to talk about what I went through as a child and, all of those things, yeah, those things meant a lot. My biological mother passed and she transitioned in 1976. I was born in 1974, so there was only 2 years with my mother. I was born in Bedford-Stuyvesant, New York, and then I was moved to Hemingway, South Carolina. Rep Hemingway, South Carolina. That's where I'm from. So in my truth, if you just want to talk about those things, a lot of things happen. And from being moved from New York to South Carolina, my life changed dramatically. Truth be told, because I was taught a truth that perhaps was not as beneficial as it may seem. So in my truth, I continue to grow and understand that going from one aspect of a child and believing one aspect of life as far as who your mother may be, who your father may be, another aspect of what your correlation to family may be. All of these truths, what that correlation to the society and to your environment, how you interact with that particular environment, how we are cultivated in a particular environment. Because a lot of times in our thinking, we think from the way that we were raised. And sometimes that's great. And other times, not so good. And again, as I said on my podcast in reflection, I know for a fact that my mother who raised me and my grandma and my uncles and aunts, and I know that they didn't specifically taught me ignorance because they taught me what they knew. But they just didn't understand at that particular time. It still was a level of ignorance. For sure. Rue, that's you? That's my grandson, if y'all want to know. That's my truth. My grandkids always involved. Rue, come on. Now he want to close the door. And I'm heavy into my family, to my grandkids' life. I'm very interested in their development, what I teach them, and in my truth, I don't really have a whole lot in my truth because most people are going to look at their life and they're going to correlate that life to what went wrong. I correlate my truth into the man that I am. So I don't have anything negative to say about who did what to me. Were some things done? Yes. Was I cursed? Yes. Did I break the curse? Yes. Did I send the curse back? Yes. Did I learn how to take spiritual baths and understand the spiritual light versus just believing what someone taught me in a religious field? And I grew up in a Christian background. So my background, from I'll say 2 till 28, it was a Christian background. My ability to read and learn and to explore different states of meditation, transcendent meditation, understanding how to have astral projection, how to move outside the body at will. You know, those different things can give you a different understanding of life. So in my truth, you know, how how could I be angry about not my parents not teaching me Gnosticism? They not having spiritual alchemy. How am I going to be mad for that? They didn't know it. So in my truth, I can't be mad because if I knew it, I would have never had chance to self-discovery and self-explore, to have self-realization within myself. So though I grew up in a certain particular way, and I'm a country boy. You know, a lot of people think I'm from the city. I was born in New York. I was raised in Hemingway, South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. That's where I'm from. Hemingway, South Carolina, specifically. Smaller thing on the map. We there, low country. So that's where I'm from. So a lot of times people think I'm from upstate, but I'm not. I'm right here. I'm a country boy, right here, raised in South Carolina. So in my truth, I realized that what they kept in the library in those books was the thing that hindered me the most. And as I began to get into those books and began to grow and went within myself, yeah, a lot of things changed. I have two daughters, five grands. I love both of my daughters dearly. I love all of my grandkids, of course. And to me, they can do no wrong. It's just understanding of their own evolution. Sometimes, you know, when we want to raise our children, we're raising our children either from two perspectives. We even teaching them from a perspective where we learn, where we evolve from, and we teaching them principles that enhance their lives, or we're perpetuating the same old dysfunction that we were taught, and we believe that this is the way that we're supposed to raise our children. Now, either one, it's not right or wrong. I'm just saying there's just different ways of doing that. And so my ways may not be your way. And that's okay. But I know that spiritual principles was how family and community and neighborhoods and governments, like those principles were how all that was founded upon. So if we're not living that particular universal principles, I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? My truth is simple: to live in the true nature of the divine God, the divine essence of love. That's my truth. My truth is, ever since I understood that true divine love, life changed. Yes, all of those things happened. No, I don't know my father. I was raised in fatherless pain. I actually have a piece that I'm actually releasing next week called Fatherless Pain. And it just talks about sometimes we're raised in a generation where we're predicating fatherless pain. And I caused fatherless pain against my daughters. You know, I wasn't in my daughter's life when they were born. I wasn't there in their conception. When they were born, when they came into this realm, I wasn't there at neither one of my daughters. So when I wrote Fatherless Pain, I understood what I did to my daughters. I understood that, hey man, if you don't get your shit together, it's going to be a problem. Now, I just didn't write Fatherless Pain. I wrote it a couple of years ago, and I kind of let it lay dormant because I was really into the focus of just really working on myself. I just really wanted to understand what was really going on with me, and I was more in tune to what was happening in my family life and my grandkids' life and how I had to make an impact at it. So I really, even though I had made the track, I just kind of sat on it, and then I just came back and I just redid the track, and I laid some beats behind it, and I think everybody gonna pretty much like this Fatherless Pain. But anywho, when I realized that from my own fatherless pain and what I caused into my daughter's life, I had to say, hey man, it got to be a change. Now I didn't realize that till later in life, because again, by the time I realized I caused fatherless pain, I was in my 40s. Check. To my young brothers and sisters out there, by the time I realized I caused fatherless pain, I was in my 40s. Because when the time I wrote Fatherless Pain, I was about 40 years old. So when I wrote Fatherless Pain, it was about 10 years ago. And it just kind of said in about, I ain't know what to do with it because I didn't really know how to express it. You know, you don't really, as a black man, it ain't something that you really want to go around about boasting that you have fatherless pain. It's just a fact. As a black man, you're meant to be strong. So when you go around saying you got fatherless pain, what does that mean? How does that affect your relationships? How does that affect your ability to raise your children? When you have dysfunctional ideas of what it is to be a father, when you got music and movies and television shows and YouTube telling you what it is, who it is, and what it is a father is, without having you the principles and the spiritual structure of that. When you don't have the archetype, archetypical image is something that I've been teaching my daughters for many years now, particularly the mother archetype. So my truth is, my mother archetype was fucked up, truth be told. Now, every woman that had anything to do with my life loved me the most. They just gave me different archetypical moments to where I understood that when I really gained the knowledge, some of that was good and some of that was, ooh, they didn't really know what they was teaching me. So from an archetype, I understood that if I don't do something better for myself than what I was doing at that particular time, especially in my 20s, early 30s, when I didn't care if I live or die, when I contemplated suicide, when I went through 10 years of depression, you know, most people not tell you how they came out of it. How do you come out of it? Well, simply, I educated myself. I began to take care of myself mentally, spiritually, and physically. I began to exercise. I began running. I began yoga. I began meditation. I began to learn different meditations between Tao, Zen, Buddhism. I learned Hermetic meditation. I learned different aspects of the psyche. I understood from a Carl Jung perspective and a Sigmund Freud perspective when dealing with your psyche. So again, my family never taught me these things. It's not because they couldn't teach me, it's because they didn't know. So in my truth, the man that I become is because of the ability to self-explore. We have a tendency to allow what someone teach us to be a belief, but then the belief we may have may not be the best way to enhance our lives. Like from nigger to nigga. Like I'm not a nigger. I'm a nigga. I'm a divine spiritual being. I said, well, that's me, a divine serpent. Well, I'm a cosmic being, and the cosmic being, everything happened from a serpent. We shed our own skin. We get rid of that shit. From a historical place, that's who the Druids were. The Druids, they call them a snake people. So in my truth, I just learned a lot of shit to where everybody said who you're not. I just found out who I was. And everything that I've learned, I teach to my daughters, I teach to my grand. I don't I don't teach my daughter to just work a job. I teach them to create a business. My grandkids will never work a job. Ever. Ever. Never. Never. My grandkids will never fucking work a job. If they want to work a job, they're gonna have to create a business. They're gonna have to work that motherfucker until they work. But they'll never work a motherfucking job. Not my grandkids. I draw the line of that shit. They'll never have the mindset that they got to go work for somebody else. I understand that what I'm doing is a particular point of how to feed my purpose, how to gain financial investment, how to not say, okay, if as an entrepreneur, I'm already in the hole at a particular point of investment. At my first investment, I ain't made no money at an investment. How do I get money coming in? So that's why a lot of time entrepreneurs fail, because they don't understand what they have to sacrifice in order to make it work. Now, if you got 5, 10, 15, $20,000, and I would say on the average, if you're starting and you're launching a business, it's going to take you at least $50,000 for the year, because we're talking about expenses, invoices. You still got to have product. You still have to have advertisement. We still got to make sure, if you have a team, you got to make sure you pay your team. So I don't think a lot of time as entrepreneurs, we're not realistic about the things that we're getting ready to do and how we're getting ready to do them. So I can't look back at my mom and them and talk about entrepreneurship, because all my mom and them and my uncle and them and my auntie and them told me to work a job for 40 years. And in the end of the 40 years, they cool. They ain't necessarily happy as they want to be, but they good. They can go and do anything they want to do. They good. That ain't what I'm talking about. And then to those who understand what it is to create wealth within inside of your family, or make sure you're teaching it to your family. If you're an investor, if you're a long-term investor, and you have children in your family, teaching them how to be a long-term investment. If you're not into the crypto market, so be it. Don't be in the crypto market. If you're into the crypto market, show your kids how to earn crypto. Like, I have a couple of apps that I show my grandkids how to earn crypto. They don't have to do nothing but have the app on their phone, and they earn crypto. And the app is called Noodle. The app is called Noodle. You can download. You can go to Google Play or Android and look up Noodle. Noodle. I think it's a Noodle or Nodle. It's called Noodle, and it's just a way for you just to earn crypto, and you just earn it on a daily basis. You know how easy is that? So all I do, because my grandkids, they got cell phones, so they got cell phones. Why not teach them how to just earn stuff quickly? And I got them now playing games to earn crypto. Why not? So whatever your truth is, my truth is simply what we've been taught. Financial literacy, what we were taught, ain't where it is. Put money in the bank, ain't where it is. If you ain't got your money in the stock market, not all of it. Diversify your money, of course. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. The ability to invest consistently is heavily against our community. So in my truth, I don't know how to speak ill of what was taught to me about those who came before me. In my truth, because I don't know how to speak ill of some people that don't know. None of my family could tell me about grounding, but I have my grandkids out there grounding. None of my family told me of the significance about solar and lunar eclipse, and how that meant in the celestial cycle and where we at right now. But I teach it to my grandkids, I teach it to my kids. If we have blue moon, red moon, harvest moon, whatever type of moon there is, I teach it to my family because I want to understand that some of these celestial events don't come around with every blue moon. So in my truth, I realized that what was taught to me versus what I learned is a great, huge disparity. Huge disparity. Because the things that were taught to me were of benefit for other people. And the things that I learned were beneficial for me. It enhanced my life. So a lot of times people are taught things by people or entities or systems, environments, or social, political aspects and concepts of life to where now you're having thoughts in your mind that you're impacting something that was created just for your distraction, just so you don't know who you are. So in my truth, it's real simple. We are all consciousness of God. We are essence of God. I had seen a interview with KRS-One and Nicholas Cannon. I don't remember the platform it was on, but I did watch the interview, and he said, "Now I'm giving y'all a gun," and he said, "God, universe, and nature." And I'm switching that one God for the genius. I'm saying genius, universe, and nature, and understand how that harmony come together. So y'all, I carry a weapon, but I understand what that gun really means. I go to the shooting range, and I understand what that really means. My daughter just said, "Hey, Dad, I want to go to the shooting range." I said, all right, now it's time. So now I'm gonna take my daughters to the shooting range and make sure that they are efficient in as far as using a weapon. But the true gun comes from within. That's that genius, that innovation, that spark, that light, that peace, that love, that harmony, that thing that dwells within, that love that releases, that heals, that gives you everything that you could ever dream of everything you could ever need. That's my truth. Love is the greatest power in the cosmos. If anybody tell you love is greater, somebody motherfucking lie. That's the greatest shit you can ever be a part of. That's the greatest interaction that you can ever have. That's the greatest intimacy that you can ever be a part of. I'm saying this especially to my brothers. To my brothers. I know what they say about you. That you dumb, that you're a savage, that you don't know no better. But we know because of all the wealthy rappers and entertainers, we know that that's not true. But here's another side. They are great scholars, scientists of Black melanated people that they don't know about. And a great book that I think all y'all should really know if y'all want to understand about melanin and the power of melanin is by Richard King. It's called Melanin something. But just look up Richard King, Melanin. I read it years ago. I don't remember the full name. The author is Richard King. It's Melanin or something. Don't make me lie because I don't want to lie to you. But Richard King is the author. He really breaks down what melanin is really is. My words right now is perplexed. Let me take a second. Melanin. Melanin is a frequency, is a source, it's a essence to be able to observe and send out at the same time. You can melanin is something they sell melanin on a stock market. Where they get it from? Melanin is a commodity. They said that you can download trillions of bits of information in your DNA through melanin. And through your DNA, that melanin translates that information into code. There it is, the key to freedom, Richard King. My man. Thank you, Ira. You my dude. Yes. So he also talks about the 33 vertebrae of going up and down the spine. He talks about the holy black body, the HBB. He calls it the HBB, the holy black body. That's what your body is, my brothers. And I want to say that they have took advantage. They hijacked our bodies. They told us fucking and money was all that there is, and it's not. You came with purpose. You came with knowing. You came with being. You came with power. So though yet you may love the gratification of sensualization, but I promise you, you way more than that. And my brothers, I know that they said that we not able to do it because we don't lack a goddamn thing. The greatest athletes on the planet are black. And even in sports where they don't want to acknowledge you, if you go back and do the history, the greatest mother uckers that came before anyone became great of the goddamn, what we call them? I ain't gonna say it. The greatest people that's on the planet is always the indigenous people upon the planet. The greatest. And my brothers, that mental illness that we have about the ideology of how we treat our women and how we go about family and about what we teach our children, we got to reevaluate that. We got to reevaluate what it is that we're teaching our daughters. We got to reevaluate what it is that how we are functioning in this society today. Because are we just being a pawn of society? Or are we going to be innovators of society? Well, if they said the black culture innovates all society and all cultures, then the black man, we gotta take that back. Stand on your righteous lawn. Stand on your rightful way. Stand on your right principles. Be the king that you supposed to be. Don't just be any king, because I'm gonna tell you, if you go back and you do your history through myth, there are gods that were good, there were benevolent gods, and there were gods that were malevolent, they were evil gods. So the energy of what they call good and evil is here, but it's just love and fear. It's those who want to control and not to allow you to evolve and become who you are, and those who say that, hey, you can only become who you are. So my brother, yes, we will kill each other quick. But sometimes when I speak to a brother that I don't know, and I say, peace, black man, peace, king, what's going on? A nigga look like he want to kill me just from speaking. Black man, we got to get beyond that. You mean to tell me that you won't? I ain't want to say it. I'm going to say it. You won't kill these goddamn white folk, but you would kill me because I speak to you? That what you do to me? You ridicule me and tell me I'm something because I speak to you? Come on now. Where we do this at? My sisters. When a man compliments you, he ain't trying to fuck you. He just giving you a compliment. If a man says, "Hey, queen, you're beautiful," I got a man. I ain't, I ain't asking you got a man. I'm just saying. I just said you were beautiful. Have a great day. So my ladies, my beautiful ladies, my beautiful queens, my beautiful goddesses, don't be so high that you can't accept a compliment. My gods, my kings, don't be so high you can't give a compliment. Don't think you above these women, bro, because I promise you, in everything we love, we come from a woman. My grandma, rest in power, when she was 96 years old, I was clipping her toenails. And my spirit asked me, as I was rubbing her feet, I was massaging her feet, and I was clipping her toenails. And my spirit asked me, why don't you revere every woman the way that you revere your grandmother? I said, shit, every woman ain't my grandma. They say every woman is your grandma. I said, oh shit. It shook me. And it made me just look around at how I was really treating women. Was I treating women based upon condition, or was I really treating women out of reverence? Did I really understand the dynamic of that feminine energy, or was I analyzing, dissecting every action they took? Did I understand my participation in what caused some of those actions, things of that nature, or not? So a lot of times, me speaking my truth, it is understanding from reflection of the things that I was taught, the things that I've learned, what I've implemented in my life, the experience in the relationships that I've had in my life, the experience in the relationship that I have developed in my life. I'm on here tonight, I'm on here today just because my brother just texted me and said, hey, you want to come on today and speak your truth? I was like, sure. Whatever that means. And he just said, speak whatever you want. And so for me, it's understand that there are companies that have a 25, 50, and 100-year plan. And we are as families and we are as communities, we don't have a 5-year plan. We don't have a 2-year plan. We don't have a 1-year plan. And shout out to my mama who raised me. Like we used to take vacation. They still take vacations all the time. I don't take as many vacations as they take. And we would always take vacations, and those vacations would be predicated like a year out. So you would have a year to pay on your vacation. So let's say the trip costs you $700 bucks. Your deposit was 100. So you got the first 6 months to finish pay on your vacation. So that's $100 a month. After you do that, then now the next 6 months, you'll take that same $100 and you'll put that into an account that you have that for your trip. That's what they taught. So I said, well, if I can do that, now when I switch into an investment, I can say I can take that same $100 a month and I can invest that same $100 a month. Now, whether it's $10 a week, $15 a week, $25 a week, $100 a week, $50 a week, whatever your budget can withstand. The fact that right now you can do a Webull, a Robinhood, a Moo, because those are the 3 apps that I deal with. You can invest on a trip. If you want to make a trade, make a trade. If you have to learn financial literacy, that's the thing that they're not talking about. But this is the time right now where financial literacy is all we're talking about. This is the great generational wealth grab. This is when you can grab wealth by the motherfucking horn. What can you create? What can you do? Technology is all at your fingertips. Everybody got phones and laptops and iPads and computers. If you're not if you're not interested in owning a business right now, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? You're going to be stuck just as a consumer, just as a consumer. You don't want to offer anyone anything, nothing, nothing. No music, no poetry, no books. You can pick up the ebook, Unlocking Resilience. I'll put that in the chat. And yeah, you unlock your full potential. Unlock your full potential. Truth is, we all have a potential that we may not understand the significance of. I don't have nothing to, like, my life was horrible and these people did this to me and that, man, fuck out of here. If you a piss poor person and you don't want to do nothing but blame people and you don't want to take responsibility for your ability to grow for your own self, shame on you. Shame on you. I'm not able to hold my mama who raised me, my uncles and aunties who raised me, my grandma who raised me. I'm going to hold them responsible for my ability to learn. That don't make no sense. Especially right now when learning is free. Learning is free. Yeah, there's certain things you have to goddamn, saying you have to pay for, but for the most part, what you talking about? What you want to learn? What you want to do? Some people that when they get on here and they speak their truth, they're gonna tell you about all the horrific shit in their life. But they don't realize the horrific shit in their lives allowed them to be who they are right now. I don't got no horrific shit. If I want to say the most significant thing that happened in my life was my mother's transition in 1976. And I didn't meet my mother again to 2012 in meditation. So after that, I know that was real. And I tell you something. I'll tell you something right here, truth, right here on the podcast. I just experienced it the other day. I took a gram of shroom the other day. And I remember what my mother taught me when I was 1 year old. And she whispered in my ear at 1 year old. She said, reawaken to love. And when you do, I'll be there. Now, my mother transitioned in 1976. I was 2 years old. When I awakened to love, it was 2012. And when I awakened to love, she was there. Because she was the individual that really helped me understand what love really is. So some people believe in the spiritual moment. Some don't. I don't really care what you believe in. That's your belief. And I'm not here to convince anybody what they should be doing. Yoga and meditation has been tools that I've used in my life for over 15 years. They have been a great enhancement in my life. I yoga and meditate daily. During the summer months, I run, so I am an avid runner. I love running. That's my peace. When I'm out there and I'm running 3 to 4 to 5 miles, there ain't no more peaceful than that. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing to stop you, and it's just you. Either you can or you can't. So when you're on your purpose and you ride, you can or you can't. That's my truth. You gonna do it or not? You came here with purpose. You ain't a soul with no purpose. Black man, black woman. You ain't a purpose. You ain't here with no purpose. You ain't here saying, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, if you came to be an OnlyFans, then fuck it, be an OnlyFans. Shit, that's what you came to do. Show your yoni for $9.99. Show you on it for $9.99. So what? That's what it is. So I mean, what we talking about? Truth. Truth is we have been denied of who you truly are. That's the truth. And they've given you so much conspiracy, so much this. Listen, if spirituality wasn't a real thing, why do the FBI, the CIA, all the letters and the peoples and all the people in the government, how come they all know about it? If it it if it if it's nothing. How come there's a document right now on the CIA on remote viewing? Right. Don't take my look it up. Nightmare. You can look what's going CIA remote viewing, and you will see that they have training programs that teach how to remote view, how to be in one place and to see into another. I remote view all the time. I just don't remote view as much as I used to. And certain stuff I just don't want to see no more. So I don't remote view as much as I used to, but certain stuff I don't want to see. But yeah. So if these spiritual things are not real, how is it that governments know about it? If meditation is not real, how come there are government studies on it? If there's not ability to heal through sound and vibration, how come there are government studies on it? Because the medical field will go out of business if people know how to heal themselves naturally. If they will understand that what happens on the frequency and on the God level. If you knew you was God, what would that mean? I mean, in the words of the Bible, they said you made in the image of God. So if you're made in the image of God, wouldn't you be like God? What would make you different than being God if you made in the image? Like if you made in the image of something, wouldn't you be just that? Are there stipulations when you made in the image of God, or nah? No, I don't know. No, no. Truth is simple. Why do they go out of their way to prevent you from knowing who you are? Truth be told. If we were taught in, again, I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 74. If I was taught from the 70s that they were black kings and black queens and black goddesses and gods that had a whole pantheon of myth and story from Africa, a place that looked like me. If I was taught that, wouldn't that mean something? Wouldn't that change the idea of how I see myself? If I was taught as a child and shown pictures of Osiris or Ayana or Isis, or Haket, Basset. If I was shown these African figures when I was a child and taught upon them, I was shown Troth, if I was taught in the mystical system, if I was taught in the principles of my art. What happened if I was just taught if I was just taught in the principles of my art as a child? What would that be like? If I was living on those principles, on those 8 principles? No, no. What happened when someone takes you away from the very essence of who you are? So in my truth, instead of me sitting around and talking about what who didn't teach me this? Why I went through that? Man, that shit pissed me off because someone I've 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 started businesses with people that stole money from me in the business. And when I asked them about why they take the money, they said, "Oh, it's a black man." Look at me in my eye when I'm asking him, "Hey man, how you gonna take $700 out of the business like that, bro, and not tell me, not say nothing?" He said, "I thought I could have get it back. I thought I could have get it back." That's true. In his mind, he thought he could have get it back. But that's not what happened. So I've started businesses, I've lost businesses, yeah. Truth is what you gonna do? You gonna give up? You gonna throw in the towel? What you gonna do about your truth? What you gonna do about your purpose? What you gonna do about the thing that burns your heart, your soul, the thing that you truly, truly want to do? So in my truth, I would ask every person that hear this, be inspired about your truth. Be inspired about fulfilling your purpose. Be inspired about doing the thing that you know that would enhance not only your life, but others as well. Knowing that the more that you do for self, the more that you will impact others. The greatest thing that you can do is a ripple effect to another. My mentor, Mr. Kenneth Headley, he told me that. He said, be a ripple effect. Don't just make an impact and kill a lot of people. Boom! As some motherfuckers is dead. But that's a hell of an impact. But this ripple effect, the next time somebody out there throw a rock in the water, and then that rock in the water, it'll just goddamn ripple. And you
Fact.
understand that's what it is.
Yo, that was powerful. This is a different truth, a different speak your truth than everybody else is given. I love the fact that you didn't go into the things that you have been through in life, but you talked about the solution. You talked about the ends of the things and the things that you have learned. So without actually going in and putting yourself in a situation to where you may end up dealing with those emotions or even thinking back on those things. You spoke about what you learned from them, how you maneuver differently. I mean, you honestly like took all of my questions away because every single time I'm like, you already came and gave your little outro about my question was going to be, what would you want to tell any of the listeners? You did that yourself. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, bet. I'm like, there's nothing really for me. There's nothing really for me to harp on because you said what you need to say, doubled back, gave an explanation on it, why you felt that way, and then moved on to the next situation, and then how you solved that and how you grew from that. So it was just like, well, shoot. I enjoyed listening to it. I have really nothing else to say except for I guess if you could
Yeah.
change anything from your past, what would you change and how would it change who you are today?
If I change anything in my past, it would be nothing because I am the man who I am because of my past. And because I know that I have healed life cycles of karma. So another thing at this particular time I want to say lastly is the karma that we coming into our lives. It's
Hmm.
not just one life cycle, it's multiple life cycles. So some of the things that we're coming into healing now, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, it's all based upon life cycles as well. So a lot of things that I've really understood come from old life cycles that I understood.
Yeah.
And from that, it was easy to heal.
I got one more thing to ask of you.
Hmm.
Shout out your businesses and everything else that you have, because I know you got a couple things. I know you got the jewelry, you got the ebook, you got the podcast, you got the music, poetry, all that. So do me a favor, shout out everything that you got, and then I gotta make sure that I put that into the show notes as well.
All right, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, brother. You can definitely check out the poetry on Talk That Crap. I have some poetry on there. I have the EP that's going to be launching in the next week or two. I'm getting everything finalized now. It's going to be called I'm Here. And I have the another project that I'm working on that it's going to be a full project. The ebook is called Unleashing Resilience, Unlocking Your Potential. It's just a quick ebook that really resolves about how you want to approach how to unlock the fullness of yourself and how to use simple exercises of how to do that. You can go to prosperoussoulpath.com and you can check out the blog there. And there are different blogs you can look at and take a read and see what's going on and how you can impact yourself from understanding how to eat better, how to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, um, and Talk That Crap podcast. We just really talk about other levels of it, how we can get better about ourselves, what we can do about solution wise. And yeah, there's more to come. I mean, I have some other things I don't want to spill it back too early, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
we at right.
Anything that's not finalized, don't speak about that yet.
Yeah.
I learned my lessons. All right, well,
we have talked about that, so for sure.
yeah, facts on facts. I mean, whew, you never know who may be watching, whether they are here with you or not. But yeah, big up, big up. I mean, whew,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on today, and that ray of sunshine, the being able to speak the truth, not just
Mm.
your truth, but the truth, because I feel like a lot of individuals who they will understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then even if
Yeah.
they have not gone through some of the things that you have gone through, they will recognize the situations that you spoke of, the things that you have noticed in life. And
Mm.
then with that, I'm hope that the individuals are working on themselves to where they recognize it. And then with that, they also look inside to know what they need to do differently to avoid things like that in the future. Because I mean, we
Agreed.
all have work that we need to do on ourselves at all times. I mean, we're constantly need to be growing and
Hmm.
constantly need to be doing that work. There's never a time where you should be stagnant. So I mean, with that, I have nothing really else to say. You took
Ah,
my show. You took my show. Like, big up yourself, bro. I thank you. I thank you. It's nice to be
hey,
able to sit
listen.
back sometimes and be like,
Hey,
you got it.
I, I appreciate you, man. Every time when you call me, bro, and I'm available, I'm
Mhm.
gonna always be there for you because when I hit you, you always available for me. So that's just a brother with another brother, man. Like when I met you, it was what it is when I met you, and you have definitely fulfilled exactly who you said you are, and I appreciate that, but I really do.
Listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I
Mhm.
mean, I try to be the best me that I can be, and I mean, I'm constantly learning to be a greater me. So it's only going to get better. But hey, with that, this was an episode of Divine Time with your boy Danli Divine and Mr. Impossible with hashtag Talk That Crap. And I'm just gonna go ahead and end it
Mhm.
right here. Thank y'all for tuning in.